Hi everyone. Kalika Chetarike class 7th standard English medium subject social science history part serial number 1 to serial number 9, that is learning factor 1 to learning factor 9 ಬರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸ್ ಆನ್ಸರ್ಸ್ ನ ಈ ವಿಡಿಯೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಟು ಧನು ಸ್ಟಾಕ್. Learning factor 1 sources of history. Learning sheet 1 how much do I know about my school? Draw a picture of your school ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿ ಹಾಗೆ fill in the information below. ಸೊ ಏನ್ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ನ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಈಸಿಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಫಿಲ್. ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ, ರೈಟ್? ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು collect the information from your seniors, our parents, our teachers. Fine. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ನೋಡಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ 15, ಅದು ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಆದಾಗ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ 2. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಒಂದೇನಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಔಟ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ದಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ದ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ವಾಸ್ ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಡ್. ಈ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಸೊ ಏನು ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಬರ್ದಿದಿರೋ ಅದನ್ನ ಆ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ನ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಬಿಗಿನಿಂಗ್ ರೂಮ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇತ್ತು, ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇವಾಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಆ ರೀತಿ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ learning sheet 2 activity 1 let's identify the picture and name them. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು pictures images ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. First is excavation, this is broken pots, this is coins, monument, this picture is a stone inscription, and this is a written document, and stone chariot, and this is temple. So question ಏನಿದೆ, write the names of above picture and to which things they are related to ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಅವಾಗಲೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಕವೇಷನ್, digging the earth to obtain the ancient remains and fossils. Broken pots, understand the food habits and their lifestyles. Coins, understand their economic conditions, religions, titles, languages of administration. Monuments, evidence of science and technical knowledge. Temples, explains the evolution of Indian temple architecture. Stone chariot, evidence of scientific knowledge and creativity. Stone inscription, narrate the political, social, cultural, economic, education, religious aspects. Written documents, to know about the social, religious, economic, cultural and political life of people. So activity 2, now you understood about the sources of history. So classify them as literary sources and archaeological sources. Literary sources, written literature, oral literature, archaeological, inscriptions, coins, monuments and other ruins. Third activity and fifth activity, classroom activity. Activity 4, list out the monuments which are helpful for the formation of history. Palaces, temples, forts, pillars. Learning factor 2, the chronology of history. What does decade mean? 10. What does decade mean? 10 years. Century means 100. Millennium means 1000 years. So learning sheet 3, activity 1, let's understand century. In which century are we today? 21st century. From which year does the 21st century begin? 2001. In which year does it end? 2100. Activity 2, some years are given in the table. Find out which century these years belong to. So example ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 2021 21st century, 1885 19th century, 1600 16th century, 1550 16th century, 1951 20th century. Activity 3, let's write in chronological order the year you were born. ನೀವು ಯಾವ ವರ್ಷ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ ಅದನ್ನ ಬರೀರಿ. The year when India became independent, we know that 1947. The year you got admitted to school, ನೀವು ಯಾವಾಗ ಸ್ಕೂಲಿಗೆ ಅಡ್ಮಿಷನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ಆ ಇಯರ್ ಅನ್ನ ಬರೀತೀರಾ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ವಾರ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸ್ ನಡೆದಿದ್ದು 1857. ಸೊ ಕ್ರಾನಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಬರೆದಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರುತ್ತೆ, 1857 ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡು 1947, ಆಮೇಲೆ 1998, 2003. ಸೊ ಆ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಾವು ಕ್ರಾನಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈ ದ ಫಾಲೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಲೈನ್, ದ ಇಯರ್ ಯು ವರ್ ಬೋರ್ನ್. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು 1998 ಅಂತ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡಿ 1900 to 2000. ಸೊ ಆ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1998 ನ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ 1857 ನೋಡಿ 1800, 1900. ಸೊ ಆ ಮಿಡಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಈ ರೀತಿ ನೀವು ಟೈಮ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ 3, ಸೋರ್ಸಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಡಿವಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಹಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿ. ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಶೀಟ್ 4, ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ 1. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲವು ಇಮೇಜಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದೆಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ರೈಟ್ ಡೌನ್ ಸಮ್ ಕೀ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವೆಶನ್ ಇದು, ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ಯೂಮ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೇರ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ಸ್. ದ ಜ್ಯುವೆಲರಿ ಓನ್ costumes like headdress, variety of hairstyles give an idea of the social lifestyles of the Hoysala's times. Dance and musical instruments. Holding musical instruments and different dance poses gives an idea of their in dance and music. Occupations and tools. Sculpture, goldsmith, skilled craftsman. Tools used are hammer and chisel. Rituals and customs, veena, small drum. Other emblems symbolize objects worshipped, tolerated, all religions. Can you identify any other aspects other than this above mentioned? Write down. So we can write this. Temple building, sculptures gives an idea of social, cultural and political events of Hoysala period. Learning sheet 5, the sources of history. Activity 1 and 2 both classroom activity. See ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ಇಮೇಜಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ ಈ ಎರಡು ಇಮೇಜಸ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಟು ವಿಜಯನಗರ ರೂಲರ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ಕಿಟೆಕ್ಚರ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಮಾನ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಇದು ಇವೆರಡು ಬಂದು 3rd and 4th ಬಹಮನಿ ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು. ಹಾಗೆ ಇದು ಎರಡು ಶಾ ಡೈನಸ್ಟಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ವಿಜಯನಗರ ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಅವರ ಇನ್ನು ಕೆಲವು ಮಾನ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಠಲ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ಟೆಂಪಲ್, ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಚಾರಿಯೇಟ್, ಬಹಮನಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಫೋರ್ಟ್ ಬೀದಾರ್, ಜಮಿಯಾ ಮಸ್ಜಿದ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಲಬುರ್ಗಿ. ಶಾ ಡೈನಸ್ಟಿ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಗೋಲ್ ಗುಂಬಜ್ ವಿಜಯಪುರ ಅಂಡ್ ಗಗನ್ ಮಹಲ್. ಸೊ ವಿಜಯನಗರ ರೂಲರ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು Dravidian style architecture. Temple were built with strong granite rocks and high tower. Bahmani kingdom, Indo-Islam style, familiar as Dakhani style. Shah dynasty, Indo-Islamic style, built forts, palaces, mosques, tombs. So Hindu style, Islamic style, Indo-Islamic style. So we can write Hindu style architecture ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನ ನೋಡಬಹುದು. ಸ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಟಮ್, ಪೋರ್ಟಿಕೋ, ಶಿಖರ, ಚಾರಿಯೇಟ್. ಇನ್ ಇಸ್ಲಾಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್, ಡೋಮ್ಸ್, ಆರ್ಚಸ್, ಕೋರ್ಟ್ ಯಾರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಿನರೆಟ್ಸ್. ಈವನ್ ಇಂಡೋ ಇಸ್ಲಾಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಸೇಮ್ ಆಸ್ ಇಸ್ಲಾಮಿಕ್ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ us to know social, economic, religious belief and architecture power of those periods. Activity 3. During the medieval dynasties, the Hindu style was used by Muslim ruler and Islamic style was used by Hindu king for the construction of their buildings. So what can we learn? So we can write Hindu style influenced by invading Muslim rulers. Hindu and Islamic style achieved a harmonious fusion. And activity 4, classroom activity. Learning factor 4, chronology of medieval Indian history. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಒಂದ್ಸಲ ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಶೀಟ್ 6, ಕ್ರಾನಾಲಜಿ. ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ 1, ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ವಿಲ್ ಯು ರೈಟ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಈವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಕರ್ಡ್ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಕ್ರಾನಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಬರ್ತ್ ಆಫ್ ಯುವರ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಮೆಂಬರ್ಸ್, ಸೆರೆಮನೀಸ್ ಹೆಲ್ಡ್ ಅಟ್ ಹೋಮ್. ಸೊ ಇದು ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯ ಈವೆಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಡೆದಿರುವಂತಹ ಈವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕ್ರಾನಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀರಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಕ್ರಾನಾಲಜಿ ಆಫ್ ದ ಮೇಜರ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಮೆಡಿವಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಇಯರ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ರಿಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇದನ್ನು ಸಹ ನೀವು ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಶೀಟ್ 7 ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ 1 rearrange the given events in chronological order. First, Battle of Panipat, establishment of Vijayanagara Empire, Battle of Talikot, Battle of Tarayan, Alauddin Khilji's invention on South India. ಸೊ ನೀವು ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಇನ್ಫಾರ್ಮೇಶನ್ ಅನ್ನ ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಯರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಲ್ವಾ, ಸೊ ಕ್ರೋನಾಲಜಿಕಲ್ ಆರ್ಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರಿಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬ್ಯಾಟಲ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆರಾಯನ್, ದೆನ್ ಅಲಾವುದ್ದೀನ್ ಖಿಲ್ಜಿಸ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೌತ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ, ಎಸ್ಟಾಬ್ಲಿಷ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ವಿಜಯನಗರ ಎಂಪೈರ್, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಪಾನಿಪಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಟಾಲಿಕೋಟ್. ಲೊಕೇಟ್ ದ ಗಿವನ್ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಲೈನ್. ಕೆಲವು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇವೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಈ ಟೈಮ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಲೊಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನಾನು 1 2 3 4 ಅಂತ ನಂಬರ್ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಸೊ 1 ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದು 1347. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು 1347 ಅಂತ ಬರೀರಿ, ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಆಗಬೇಡಿ. ದೆನ್ ಥೈಮೂಸ್ ಇನ್ವೆನ್ಷನ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಹಿಯರ್ ನಿಯರ್ ಬೈ, ಅಂಡ್ 1582 ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. 1005 ಇಲ್ಲಿ 500 ಇದೆ, 1600. ಸೊ ಇನ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಟೈಮ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Learning factor 5 interrelationship between North and South Indian historical events. So information is given, read that. And learning sheet 8 activity 1 children with the reference of your textbook find out the North Indian kings and what type of relationship they had with the South Indian kings. Immadi Pulakeshi had war with the Harshavardhana. Rajendra Chola conquest North India. Samudragupta defeated 12 South Indian kings. Satvahana dynasty served as a bridge between North and South Indian kings. Kakushta Varma had martial relationship with the Guptas of North India. Amogavarsha gave up some territories in the north. Learning factor 6 medieval administrative system. So you have to read the given information. Learning sheet 9. Here information is related to Ikta system, Manasabadri system and Nayankara system. Read Madi. Learning sheet 10 administrative system in Central Asia. So you have to observe this map and find below map consists of places where the above learnt administrative system were in practice anta helidare. So you have to read this. Idanna observe ಮಾಡಿ places ಅನ್ನಲ್ಲ. Activity 2 Did you notice the above map? Locate the areas ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮಾನಸಬದ್ರಿ, ನಾಯಂಕರ ಅಡ್ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟಿವ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಇಕ್ತಾ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಕ್ತಾ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಲಾಹೋರ್, ಮುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಜೋಧ್ಪುರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಮಾನಸಬದ್ರಿ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗ್ರಾ, ಗ್ವಾಲಿಯರ್, ಮಾಲ್ವಾ. ದೆನ್ ನಾಯಂಕರ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮು ರಕ್ಕಸಗಿ, ವಿಜಯನಗರ್, ವೆಲ್ಲೂರ್, Pondicherry and Madurai. Activity 3 write the similarities between Ikta, Manasabadri, Nayankara administrative system. Ikta, Manasabadri, Nayankara introduced by Iltutmish, Manasabadri implemented by Emperor Ashoka, Nayankara introduced by Vijayanagara rulers. And Ikta, Manasabadri, Nayankara for administration. And Ikta system, third point, governors of Iktas were Iktadas. Manasab were ranked based on the number of soldiers for Manasabadri, Nayankara the leaders. And for Ikta, fourth point, Iktadas had to manage the army. For Manasabadri, Manasab had to manage civil and military duties. And for Nayankara, leaders had to provide king, the soldiers and army. And this information you have to read. Market reforms of Alauddin Khilji. Read this information. Learning sheet 11, activity 1. Identify the similarities and difference between the marketing system of Alauddin Khilji and today's marketing system. Similarities: grain sold at fixed price in market. Ready-made goods, registration mandatory. Difference: no slaves were sold in market now. In case of cheating, no strict punishment. Failure in eliminating the middleman. Activity 2. Discuss about the minimum support price in market system with the help of your teacher. MSP ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಅಂತ ಶಾರ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್. MSP set by the government for certain agricultural products to protect the farmers against fall in price. If price falls below MSP, the government purchase the entire quantity from the farmers at MSP. Is weight and measurement essential for trade? So think and answer. All goods today are sold by either weight or measure to ensure that the consumer receive the correct amount of any product they buy. Activity 4. Daily essential items are sold at minimum price at face shop. Give reason. So food grains are supplied to the poor at reasonable price than the market price, helped in avoiding hunger. Activity 5. Find the price of the following items in the market and fair shop. In fair shop it is free. In price in central market it varies. ಅವಾಗ ವೇರಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಇವಾಗ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಬರ್ದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ 6. Know the details about the intermediaries in market from your elders traders ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Write your opinion. Intermediaries are those merchants or traders who collect goods from the producers, manufacturers and deliver it to the retailers. My opinion, if the farmers sell their farm produce without the middleman, they get good money for their products, no need to dependent on them. Irrigation project of Firoz Shah Tughlaq period or the information ಇದೆ, read ಮಾಡಿ. Learning sheet 12. Activity 1. List out the similarities between farmer projects of Firoz Shah Tughlaq and present day farmer project. Constructing canals for irrigation. Many schemes are introduced for farmers. Debt Relief Act. This activity 2, 3, 4. Classroom activity. Discuss about the objectives and impacts of the farmer loan waiver and what is the need of measuring land, how to measure your home, yard and share in the classroom. Meet the revenue inspector and write about revenue collection. Activity 2. Answer. Farmers take heavy loans for crop production. If the crop fails, farmers get trapped in debt and it leads to farmer suicides. To overcome this, government waives farm loans. Activity 3. To understand land boundaries, to pay tax, to preserve valuable resource, proper use of farmland. And measure of our home, that is calculated in square feet. Land measurement units are acres or hectares. Activity 4. Answer. Responsible for collection of taxes like land revenue. And ಇನ್ನೂ more information ಅನ್ನು ನೀವು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ನೀವು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Learning sheet 13. Who collects the land records? What are the benefits? Who collects? Revenue Department. Benefit: to obtain loan from the bank, to get the schemes, to get benefits given by government to the farmers. Activity 2. Discuss with your parents how records of an asset are made. RTC document, also known as PANI, recorded by Revenue Department. Activity 3. Teacher will provide a land record. Take a look and list the key points. So land record ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ನೋಡಬಹುದು. Land owner information, soil type of land area, crops grown on the land, survey number and land boundary. Learning factor 7. Socio-religious condition. Information is given. You have to read this. Learning sheet 14. Activity 1. List out what flaws of society did the Sufi saints try to correct. Social and religious reformation. Harmony between Hindus and Muslims. Opposed caste system. Equality. Superstition. Activity 2. Given below are the pictures related to Sufi saints. Gather information and location of these pictures ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. So this is Dadapura Fatehpur Sikri, Uttar Pradesh, and Emperor Ashoka built in the honor of Sufi Saint Salim Chishti. And this second one, Khwaja Bande Nawaz Dargah. It is in Gulbarga, Kalburgi district, Karnataka. It is sacred tomb of Sufi Saint Syed Muhammad Hussaini. This is Qutub Minar in Delhi, built in the memory of Qutubuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki. Activity 3. Observe the picture given below and answer the question. Observe this picture. Which moment does the picture remind? Bhakti cult. Can you discuss with your friends why this movement was popular? Because there was no discrimination among the worshippers or devotees, rich or poor, man or woman. Everyone was allowed to worship the deities of his her own choice. So important persons ಯಾರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದರೆ ಪುರಂದರದಾಸ, ಕನಕದಾಸ, ಕಬೀರ್ ದಾಸ್, ಮೀರಾಬಾಯಿ, ಚೈತನ್ಯ, ಶಿಶುನಾಳ ಶರೀಫ. Activity 4. Name of the philosophers and their principles are given below. Match them. So philosophers: Shankaracharya, Advaita, Basaveshwara, Shakti, Vishishta Advaita, and Madhvacharya, Dvaita Madhvacharya, and Ramanujacharya, Vishishta Advaita. Activity 5. What do you know about the philosophies of these philosophers? Shankaracharya propounded Advaita philosophy, focus on Brahman, Atman, Vidya, Avidya, Maya, Karma and Moksha. Ramanujacharya propounded Vishishtadvaita philosophy. Salvation can be attained through devotion and surrender to God. Basaveshwara propounded Shakti Vishishtadvaita philosophy. Work is worship. One's body is itself a temple. Madhvacharya propounded Dvaita philosophy. World is real. Souls are different from Brahman. Preached a simple path of bhakti. Learning factor 8. Read this information given. Learning sheet 15. Activity 1. You have read the information above. Now look at the following pictures and write your opinion. Look at these pictures. So according to my opinion, during wars there is a destruction of wealth, property, trade, industry, etc. Causes suffering to the family members of the people who died during the war. War is an evil. Activity 2. Children, with the help of the following map, draw a route map and locate the important places of Alauddin Khilji South Indian expedition. So illi bardidini. So you can do mark this. ನೋಡಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿ, ಬ್ರಾಚ್, ದೇವನಗಿರಿ, ವಾರಂಗಲ್, ದ್ವಾರ ಸಮುದ್ರ, ತಾಂಜೋರ್ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡಿ ದೆನ್ ತಾಂಜೋರ್, ಮಧುರೈ, ರಾಮೇಶ್ವರಂ. Activity 3. Babur defeated an army much larger than his own in the Battle of Panipat. Discuss because of war combat skills and tactics of Babur. Activity 4. Write a note on the Battle of Talikot which led to the downfall of Vijayanagara dynasty. After Krishnadevaraya, Achyutaraya and Sadashivaraya ruled Vijayanagara. Sadashivaraya was minor. So Ramaraya's son-in-law of Krishnadevaraya took the responsibility of administration. All Deccan sultanates hated on the growth of Vijayanagar. To defeat Vijayanagar, they united. War began between the united army of sultans and Vijayanagar army. Ramaraya died in the war. His sons escaped from war and the city of Vijayanagar was destroyed. Activity 5. What are the causes of wars? How can it be prevented? Write your opinion. Causes: for economic gain, religious, political reasons, territorial gain, for revenge, internal disagreement within a country, competition over land, water, minerals, etc. Prevention: national unity, good relations with neighboring countries, peaceful settlement. etc. Learning factor 9, discovery of sea route. Read the given information. Learning sheet 16, activity 1. After listening to the above conversation, can you answer the question? Who had business relations with India since ancient times? Europeans, Arabians. What were more expensive goods of India in Europe? Peppercorn. You can write in the bracket spices. Who declared herself as a queen and why? Peppercorn, because there was demand in Europe, more value than gold. It has given as salaries to the soldiers. It had more value than their money. Who was profited the most by selling Indian goods to Europe? Arabs. Indian goods were found in the markets of dash continent, Europe. Which are the other things reached Europe along with calico cloth? Decorative items, spices, ivory, loban, muslin cloth. Activity 2. List the goods that are exported from India and imported to India. Goods exported from India: engineering goods, machinery equipment, pulses, cereals, cotton, wool, silk. And imported to India: petroleum, diamonds, vegetable oil, electronics. Read the given information. The magic of Indian spices. Learning sheet 17. Read the above story, think and answer. How was life in Arabia? Many years ago, nothing was grown in Arabia. Life was very difficult. People were engaged in other activities rather than farming. Which Indian goods were shipped to Europe by the Arabs? Spices, cotton, fabrics were shipped to Europe by the Arabs. Which item of India were in demand in Europe? Spices. What caused the Turks to become angry with the Europeans and what was the result? Causes. The Europeans traded directly for themselves from India. It was a huge loss for the Arabs. Result. Turks seized Constantinople, imposed more revenue on the European merchants. Europeans started to find new sea route to India. Learning sheet 18, activity 1. Locate the given places. So Portugal, Lisbon, Cape of Good Hope, Madagascar, Mozambique, Lakshadweep, Gujarat. So illi locate madidini. Next. Mark Vasco da Gama sea route to India by drawing line. So you can draw like this way. Activity 3. Given below are the old names of some places. Find and write their current names. Constantinople, Istanbul, Ceylon, Sri Lanka, Calicut, Kozhikode, Bombay, Mumbai, Persia, Iran, Mesopotamia, Iraq. Activity 4. Fill up. A city which was considered the gateway to European trade in ancient time, Constantinople. First Europeans who came to India, Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama. Who wanted to trade directly with India? Europeans. Who conquered Constantinople? Turks. Items being exported from India: cotton, fabrics and spices. And we completed the learning factors activities answers from learning factor 1 to learning factor 9 in one shot. If you think this video can help a student, kindly share ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ಎಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಹಾಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಒಂದು ಲೈಕ್ ಇರಲಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಕೀಪ್ ಸ್ಮೈಲಿಂಗ್.